going to be doing today is we're going to be having a lesson for today. Okay, we will have a break in the middle and some refreshment. So the first part of the lesson is going to be speaking, and no surprise, we'll get through the second part. Writing. So I'm going to get you to write using pen and paper as well. And so again, for those of you who are used to writing on the computer, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's good to be able to write. We've always had access to a computer, especially sometimes in exams. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is basics of speaking. Right? We're going to be getting into this in a little bit more detail shortly. But you can see, first of all, I hope you can hear that when I'm speaking, first of all, I'm speaking very slowly. I know to some of you, I have said that you are to walk your way through your talk. It's very easy when you are nervous, especially in an exam, when you are speaking in front of a class like this. How are you? Welcome to class. How are you? How are you? No, perfect English. I'm very well, thank you. Okay, so the first thing is B. Right? And I'm going to call the pace. Pace is another word for speed, a synonym for speed. The pace of which you do something is the speed of which you do something. So the pace of how you speak is very important. And like I was saying before, when you are speaking, you should, I know in Vietnamese you speak very fast, but when you are speaking your second language, such as English, you need to speak a little bit slower, especially in the exam. So as I will keep reminding you, you should walk your way through your talk. Okay, that is the speed you should be going at, not running. Okay, not even jogging. Okay, you should walk your way through your talk. The two main reasons for that are: one, it is easier to understand you if you are speaking more slowly, and two, of course, it gives you more time to think about what you are going to say next. So if I start speaking really fast like this and I keep going like this, one, it is hard to follow what I'm saying, and also two, it is hard for me to keep saying what am I going to say next. But if I speak slowly like this, okay, I hope it is very easy for you to understand me. So pace is the first one of the three P's I'm going to tell you about. Pace. The second one is this. If you can read my writing, what have I written to you? Projection, okay? So projection, project means to throw something. So in this case, I'm throwing my voice to you. And you'll notice I'm not shouting at you. It's not to be confused with shouting. Projecting is different from shouting. Projecting just means I am looking at maybe the furthest person in the room, such as you, and I am making sure my voice is reaching your ears. One of the common faults about people learning a second language, especially younger people, that they tend to look down, okay, and they tend to mumble. So when you're in an exam situation, very hard for the examiner to hear what you were saying. And if you are mumbling, of course, very hard for them to give you a mark if they can't hear what you were saying. So you must learn to project your voice. Again, we will practice this in just a moment. So that is the second P. Okay, and third P is this, pitch. Pitch of your voice. What I mean by that is, and hopefully you just heard how I changed the tone or pitch of my voice to hopefully make it sound more interesting to you. For example, if I was to talk to you like this, well, today we're going to learn about English, and then we're going to do some writing, and then we're going to have something for eating. After that, you will go home. Okay, very boring. And my voice is just going like this. So to make anything you say more interesting, you have to change the pitch of your voice. So for example, I can say to you, today we're going to learn about speaking. You can hear I've made my voice go up and down. So hopefully straight away it sounds more interesting to you, okay, than just talking like this in a flat voice. Is there anyone who doesn't understand? Now, again, like I was saying before, remember, we are all a family here, okay? So if there's anything anyone doesn't understand, please don't be shy about asking me, okay? I have come a long way to teach you. So now is your chance to ask me anything. So please, nobody be shy, even if you think it is a silly question. Don't mind, okay? Please ask. All right, so the three things to remember when you are speaking, okay, is pace. Can you remember, Paula, what speed I said to talk at? Yeah, what was the word I used? Yeah, I used a specific word about pace. About pace. Can you remember? From me. Yeah. Yeah, I said pace means speed, but what speed did I say to go at when you are talking? Walk, exactly. Remember, walk rhymes with talk. Easy way to remember it. So when you are talking, you should be going at walking speed. Does that make sense to everyone? So that was the first one to remember. Pace, you are walking your way through your talk. Remember, the two reasons for that are: one, it is easier to understand you, and two, you have more time to think about what you're going to say. Just while we're on that subject about thinking, it is okay to leave a pause when you are talking. I think when you gave your talk last week, okay, you left some pauses in between what you were saying, and that is okay. All right, please don't think when you are speaking you cannot stop. Okay? You have to keep talking, otherwise the examiner will take marks off you, or it won't sound very good. It is perfectly natural to do what I just did then and pause for a moment. When you are speaking to your friends and family, we do this all the time. We stop sometimes to think about what we're going to say next. Very natural, and it's okay to do this when you are doing a speaking test. Very natural. The examiner won't mind that. Then you can pause, not for too long. Of course, you don't want to stop for 10 seconds if they think you will finish. But to pause for 1 or 2 seconds while you think of what to say next is perfectly fine. But remember, pace, you are walking your way through your talk. All right, second one, projection means you just push your voice out of it. And to push your voice out of it, it means you need to breathe properly. You need to breathe properly. Okay, if you have no air in your lungs, okay, it means you don't have air to power your voice. I'm sure you all know what fuel or petrol is. Air is the petrol or the fuel that powers your voice. If you don't take any breath in, you can't project your voice. And if you can't project your voice, no one can hear you. So I have done a lot of public speaking, and some of this is valuable for public speaking as well. I'm sure in times to come, if you haven't already done it, some of you will do public speaking as well. You will have to stand up in front of people to say something or talk about something. Okay, and the way to power your voice is make sure you are breathing correctly. So again, if you are talking too fast, a lot of this comes back to pace. If you are talking too fast, you don't have time to breathe because you're too busy talking. Does this make sense? But if you are going slowly, you can stop at the end of a sentence and, okay, you have enough fuel to power your voice so that everyone in the room can hear you, especially if there is no microphone. And so projection is very important. If people can't hear what you are saying, okay, they can't give you a mark for it. All right, and the second thing, we're going to all practice this in just a moment. Sorry, the third thing is the pitch of your voice. Okay, you want to make sure that you are not talking like this all the time. I have banned you for the last time. That's delicious. Yeah, very boring. And you want to make sure that you are changing the pitch of your voice. And sometimes this takes a little bit of practice. You have to think about changing the pitch of your voice, making sure that you start one sentence at a different pitch than you finish the last one, like I just did there. Okay? And this makes your audience listen to you more. It's more engaging. Okay, so are there any questions about any of this? Okay, enough talking from me. Time for you to do some talking. So what I'm going to do is just go around quickly everyone, and I will ask you the sort of question that you will get in part one of the speaking exam. So I'm sure you all remember part one of the speaking exam is the examiner will ask you questions about yourself. Can anyone tell me how long your answer should be in the number of sentences? Not you, Paul, I asked you. Can anyone tell me how long, how many sentences should your answer be for part one of the speaking exam? One or two, probably 2 or 3 is probably better. No, doesn't matter. One or 2 can be fine. Of course, depends on the question. If they ask you how old are you, well, of course, you can't turn that into 2 or 3 sentences. It can only be 1 sentence. Depends on the question. But for part one of the speaking exam, no more than 3 sentences. Okay, this is very short. So you don't want to start giving a long speech. And for some people, this can be a bit hard because some people, when they get nervous, they talk a lot. All right. So please remember, for those of you who find it very easy to talk, only 2, 3 sentences maximum for part one speaking. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to ask each of you questions. All right, so I want you to reply to me, please, in 2 or 3 sentences. And just before we start, there are 2 more things, okay, that I want you to try and do for me, as well as these 3. Okay, I know I'm giving you a lot to think about. Like I say, come a long way in time and short, so I have to give you everything I know in a very short space of time. When someone is talking to you and you want to reply, you must look at them. Okay, eye contact is very important, especially in exams. To answer an exam like this, all right, okay, leaves not a very good impression. So you want to leave a good impression with the examiner. Again, does this make sense? So you can see now, as I'm going around the room, I am looking at all of you, okay, in the eye. Doesn't mean I stare at you like this, okay, very scary. Okay, all right, don't want to scare anyone. That just means you make eye contact. Okay? All right, so if you make eye contact with someone, okay, instantly they are more aware of what you're saying. Does this make sense to everybody? Okay, good. And the other thing is just your body language. Again, you don't want to be talking like this, all right? Anyone who's talking to you like this, straight away, you think, how do I look? If I'm like this, how do I look? What do you think of me? Yes. I look shy or nervous or embarrassed if I'm talking to you like this, not making eye contact. Okay? You want the examiner to feel you are confident, even if you don't feel you are confident inside. And you don't want to go around like this, looking shy or nervous or embarrassed. Okay? You want to look up, all right? Make eye contact, and with your body language, it's okay to use your hands. You'll notice I use my hands quite a lot, just to emphasize certain words. That is fine. Okay? You don't have to use your hands, but please, most importantly, you don't want to go into exam with your arms crossed. Because arms crossed often to some people looks like you're angry about something, you're upset. Okay? So remember your body language. But eye contact, okay, body language, pace, the speed, projection is making sure the person can hear you, okay, and pitch, changing your voice, changing the pitch of your voice. Are there any questions about that? Okay. There are lots and lots of tips I can give you about this, but like I say, time is short, so I'm going to only do some things. One question some people have asked me about is, what if the examiner asks me something that I don't know anything about or I don't like? Okay, this will happen quite often. The examiner will ask you something that you're not sure about something. What do you think about football, for example? You might not know anything about football. Okay, so what do you say? Can anyone tell me? What do you say if the examiner asks you a question you don't like, or you don't know anything about? What can you say? Anyone? Everyone's been very quiet. I'm going to have to get you talking. Yeah. Okay, what do you say? If you know just a little bit, okay, is one good answer. I know just a little bit. Or you can say, you can be honest. I don't know anything about football, or I don't know anything about swimming, or I don't know anything about cooking. Okay, I don't have any hobbies. Okay, that will be sad. Means you're very bored. But okay, but you can say that. You can be honest. But then you say, but I do know about something else. So the examiner says to you, tell me about football. Tell me about Manchester United. You say, I don't know anything about Manchester United. But you say, but I like reading. And I have read some very good books lately. Okay, so you say that. Does that make sense? Okay, so you be honest. So if they ask you a question about something you don't know, please don't try and make up an answer. It's too difficult, especially in an exam. Okay? You have to try and make something up in your head, and very stressful. So just be honest. If they ask you a question you don't know, say, I don't know, but, and then you show that you do know something about something else. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so again, you just have to be honest. I don't know, but I can tell you about this. I don't know anything about Manchester United. I don't know football, but I can tell you about a TV program that I watched last night, which is one of my favorites. All right. Okay. Review. Okay, I want you to tell me in 2 or 3 sentences, everyone. I'm going to ask each of you a question. Do you prefer indoor or outdoor hobbies? Okay, so first thing you need to do is project. Okay, so you should be able to talk if you are at this table, so the people at that table can hear you. So can you start again, please? Okay, can you hear him at the table? Not very well. Okay, so can you please project? So take a deep breath. I prefer outdoor hobbies. Okay, can you please tell Charlie that he can hear? Charlie is sitting over there. He is wearing the black t-shirt. Okay, so can you please say to her that same sentence? They like outdoor hobbies. Good, better. Can you hear him, Charlie? Good, okay, better. Okay. And remember, I want 2 or 3 sentences. So you said, I like outdoor hobbies, such as, you have to give me an example. Okay, such as playing football. So again, same to Charmy. Sorry, Charmy, I'm choosing you because you are the furthest away. Okay, please say to Charmy,
I like alcohol. Fast.
Great. Is that okay, Charlie? Excellent. Okay. Okay. What kind of hobbies do you enjoy, and why do you enjoy them? Okay, so remember, you have to think quickly. Or you say to me, I don't have any hobbies.
My hobby is reading books. Also, very interesting.
Okay, good. So again, can you please say that to Prami?
Hobby is reading books. The story in the book very interesting.
Good. So you are projecting. That is much better. Okay. Can you hear us okay, Charlie? Great. Okay, that's much better. And the speed at which you were going is good. All right. So you are walking your way through. Okay, and you gave me 2 sentences. So that is good. Also, it is good. You looked up when I say, please tell Charlie, you look at Charlie. Very high point. Okay, so I know it was hard for you to go at first. All right, so I know that the others now know what I know. All right, so okay, okay. Please tell me one of your favorite hobbies and why you enjoy it.
Really cool.
Okay, so again, can you please tell Charlie?
I read something that looks like I think someone can play pool and summer I wrote down play learn how to play guitar.
Good, and better English too, the second part. Okay, that's good. Can you hear her, Charlie? Okay, great. Okay, so hopefully now you can feel what that feels like to project your voice. So this is part of the exercise. So I'm not just listening to what you say. In fact, I don't really mind what you say. Then you can say anything to answer my question. But I want you to get used to projecting your answer. All right. I want you to get used to looking at someone, eye contact. Okay. And I want you to get used to speaking at the right speed. Remember, the speed is walking. Okay. Then I have a new question for you. Are there any hobbies you would like to try in the future?
I'm really into basketball because my friends play a lot and I think it's going to be good in the house to play some sport.
Great, perfect answer. Okay, so good. So 3 sentences. Okay, you look me in the eye. Very good. What is the one thing you're doing wrong? Can you see? But the one thing you did wrong? Yes. I know a lot of things to think about. I know. You are talking to me like this. Okay. And remember, if you talk to anyone like this, okay, makes it look a bit like you are not relaxed. Okay? So you want to try and show the examiner that you're relaxed. So the easiest thing, put your hands on the table. All right, if you or in your lap. Okay. But that was a good answer and you projected well. Okay. And your pace was good. Okay, good. Same question. Are there any hobbies you want to try in the future?
My guitar and I think it's very cool.
Good. Okay. All right. So too long. Answer is too long. Okay. Then just 2 or 3 sentences. Okay. And can you say that again to me, please? And can you project a little bit more to me? Remember, I'm a little bit deaf. Okay? Can't hear you.
Probably I want to know what is computer. I have seen my teacher play guitar and this and I think is using the budget.
Okay, good. I can hear you much better than that. So you understand how that feels now, Diane? That's how you need to practice speaking. Okay, all right. And same one for you. Are there any questions? Are there any hobbies you want to try in the future? Okay, good, good. I can hear what you were saying. Good. Thank you, you spoke at the right time. It's hard for you over the back. All right. Okay, give you a different question. Tell me about your favorite hobby. Actually, quite often, and I think I'm getting better. Okay, good. I'm getting better. So the one thing I am not hearing from anyone, so now you are all projecting better. Okay, and you're all going at the right pace. So I'm not hearing this so much. Okay, so please try to do that. Hold up. Okay. And I'm asking a lot of things. A lot of things. Paul, tell me about your favorite food. You like it?
Personally, I like pasta. So it's kind of history.
Good. Very good. So you heard Paula there with changing her pitch a little bit to make it sound more interesting. But I really like this song because I think it tastes good. And I really like it because it's crunchy. Yeah. Okay, but hear how Paula made her voice go up and down a little bit, which makes it more interesting. Okay. Back to hobbies. Do you have a favorite hobby? What is it and why do you like it?
Easy. Not my favorite.
Okay, so can you please give me the answer and project to me? Okay, I know I have sitting quite close. Okay, so I can hear you, but I want you to project. You have to remember, breath is the power of the words. They have to make sure you take deep breaths, right? And this projection your purpose is more. Okay, your speed is fine, your pace is fine. Okay, and your answer. Okay.
So yeah, I figured.
Okay, that's good. That's it. That's that. All right. So any time is to change the pitch. Okay. My favorite hobby is basketball, and I really enjoy playing basketball. Okay. What is your favorite food, and why do you like it? Come over here, so you have to project to me. Okay, so answer is good, but Yeah, okay. So can anyone here at this table tell me what was wrong with this answer? Okay, what was wrong with this answer?
Too long.
Too long, yes, too long, too long. Remember, only 2 or 3 sentences at the moment. Okay, so the first part of your answer is fine. Okay, when you talk about ramen and that you really like the taste of Japanese food, you probably don't need to start talking about anime. Okay, that is like a whole other subject. Okay, but that's fine. I think better at this stage that you have too much to say than not enough. Okay, going to this table. Are you ready? So everyone at this table now knowing what I am listening for. All right, so remember, I'm listening for pace, the speed at what you're doing it. Okay, what speed should you be doing? You are walking. Okay, you're walking. All right, I'm looking for projection. So I'm sitting quite a way away from you. So I should be able to hear you speaking clearly to me. Okay. All right. And again, if you can do it, I want to hear you change the pitch of your voice. Okay, makes it sound a little bit more interesting. Okay. All right. Tell me about a hobby you might like to try in the future.
I think it's basketball. That's I play this a lot. Like I like it.
Okay. So I want you to say that to me again. I want you this time to look at me. Okay? Look at my face when you're talking, and I want you to slow down a little bit and project a little bit more. Okay?
I'm not trying not to get it.
Good. You didn't do that. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Please tell me about a hobby you would like to try in the future.
I think it's basketball.
Yeah.
First time my friend played a lot, and I like that.
Good. Better. Better. Okay. Please tell me about your favorite food and why you like to taste it.
And my favorite food is free roll. So partly it is a traditional food. And I usually do make it in Saturdays with my family. So in the holidays with my
Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Hey, how many things? That was about 4 or 5 things. Yeah, maybe 4. All right. I mean, it's good that you have a lot of things to say. That's good because it's easier then to cut it down. So please try one more time and just tell me about your favorite food and why you like the taste.
my favorite food is free roll. Hey, but I have seafood. And I usually make it with my family.
Good. Very good. Better. Okay. Cool. That's good. Very good. Okay. Please tell me about one of your favorite hobbies and why you like it.
My favorite hobby is playing basketball. I feel happy when I play basketball, and I have a lot of friends on basketball, and I will try my best to get more trophies in basketball, which my opinion.
Okay, good. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, I think maybe there was 4 sentences there, 4 or 5. Remember, only 2 or 3 sentences. But it's good you looked me in the eye. It's great. Okay, you didn't fold your arms. It's good. All right. So try one more time. So a little bit shorter. And this time, please, can you project a little bit more? All right. Paula, sorry, can you please stop talking? Thanks. I want to try and deal with that. Thank you. Okay. Please tell me about your favorite hobby and why.
My favorite hobby is playing basketball. Yeah, I have a lot of time from playing basketball, and I actually when I play, I wish I would like to get more and more trophies in basketball.
Oh, good. Okay. That's good. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. Rami. All right. Rami, please tell me about a hobby you would like to do in the future, something you would like to try.
if I can, I will attend a dance class because I'm really into dance. I love the I keep on dancing on the stage and like people around cheering for me and like I have a positive energy for dancing.
Great. Okay, a little bit too long, I think. Do you think, Mrs. Howard? These are some of them just a little bit too long, I think. Okay, so yeah, Mrs. Howard has done the IELTS. She knows what they asked. So the answer was very good. Okay, you look at me, that was great. Okay, you had good prediction. I could hear everything you were saying. Could you hear what she was saying? Yeah, good, good. But just a little bit too long. It's all right, I won't ask you to. Okay. What is your favorite food and why do you like
Or eating so good and my
Okay, can you please do it one more time, but project? I found it a little bit hard to hear what you were saying. Okay, okay. What is your favorite food and why do you like it?
my favorite food and it is so good and my papa cooks so well.
Okay, a little bit. So just remember, it's almost like I say, it's not shouting, but you should be able to all hear my voice now very easily. Okay, and all I am doing is just making sure I have plenty of breath, and I am almost like I am pushing my voice to your ears so you can hear it. Again, one of the easy image to have in your mind is you are talking to someone who is a little bit deaf. Okay, so if I'm talking to Mrs. Ha, I will talk like this. Okay, to make sure that if maybe she's a little bit deaf because she's getting older, yeah, she can still hear me. Okay, all right. Sorry, Mrs. I know you love people. Okay, so that is the image you need to have in your mind. Maybe the person over there, they can't hear very well, so I will make sure my voice is going to carry. Okay, okay. You're hiding. Okay, what is some hobby you would like to try in the future?
Sorry,
Well, I haven't seen you before. Well, it's very nice to meet you. Okay, okay. So, what is a hobby you would like to try in the Okay, good. So maybe a little bit more, doing just 2 or 3 things. Okay, that's good answer, Mr. Bell. I could hear you. That's good. Okay. Okay, lucky last. Oh dear. Lucky last. Okay. So what are you doing at the moment? Good. All right. So please tell me about one of your favorite foods and why you like the taste.
Yeah, my favorite food is mainly I like it because it's not very ingredients to put it in, and I like the crispiness of it.
Great. Perfect answer. Okay. So just 2 sentences. 2 sentences. And for those of you who I hope are paying attention, you could hear that look here, he projected very well. Very clear. Okay. I could hear you perfectly. Okay. And the speed was good too. So everyone, please remember, I don't want to go on because we have many things to talk about, too much about this, but these 3 things are important for any speaking you do, whether it's to the examiner who is only sitting about as far away from you, okay, or whether this is more like public speaking, where you are talking to people, okay, in a hall or a room, something like this, okay. Remember the pace, walk your way through your talk. Right? Remember projection. You want to be able to hear what the people who are farthest away from you Okay, sorry, you want the people who are farthest away from you to be able to hear you clearly. And just like Duklia did then, Duklia probably gave the best example of projection that I heard from the class today. Okay, very clear. Okay, so you want the person who is sitting at the back to be able to hear you clearly. And the last one is try and change the pitch of your voice, because it will be very boring to hear someone just go blah, 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 blah. Okay, very soon you go to sleep and you forget what they are saying. So you want to be able to change the pitch of your voice a little bit, which keeps the person interested, at least hopefully, for the few seconds that you are talking. Okay, so pace, projection, and pitch, and I call them the 3 Ps. Okay, that way easy to remember. Are there any questions so far for what I've said? Okay. By the way, Mrs. Howe, what time do you want to stop the speaking lesson?
Yeah, it's definitely good in our students, but maybe you can write.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what time are we going to finish? We're finishing 6 years, so 4 p.m. now.
Yes.
Okay, so we will, and maybe do an hour and a half on writing.
Yes, okay.
All right. You think it's okay?
Yes.
Okay, and we will break for 15 minutes. You think will be enough? I mean, we will have a break for 15 minutes. Yeah. For that 15 minutes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we have a.
Yeah, that's right. So that's why we'll have 45 minutes, maybe. Okay, at least 45 minutes, a bit longer for them. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, so that is part 1 of the speaking test, everyone. What we're going to be doing now, very quickly, because we have about 20 minutes, is part 2, which is what I traced, I think, with all of you before. Specifically, you have to speak for 2 minutes. All right, and you have 1 minute to prepare for this. All right, now I'm going to try and get you, I know this is going to be maybe a little bit more for you because we have 8 or 17 people to go through this. But what I'm going to get you to do, so we don't have to sit here through 2 minutes worth of 17-minute speeches. All right, it can be 34 minutes, too long. All right, I'm going to get you all to talk to me for just 1 minute. All right, but you still have 1 minute to prepare. So does everyone understand that? So you're going to talk for me for 1 minute. All right, I want you again to remember these things, but I'm going to give you the topic now, or the talk, and I was going to write it up, but please write this topic down. You've all got a piece of paper? Everyone has got paper? All right, so here is the topic for the talk. And by the way, I'm going to be starting with you with me. Okay, this table was first last time, this table was first this time. All right, so here is the topic. Okay, I want you to describe for me a special event or festival that you liked. A special event or festival that you have liked. I want you to tell me what.
Không có đặt chưa.
Okay. Ella or people. This is hard. Sorry, do we have a piece of paper? Yeah.
Hiểu không? Nó cắt hỏi gì trong gọi hỏi đó.
Yes, but have some parents today. That's a big.
That's the point of the I think. If anybody else not got paper?
Con nhìn thấy
It's good.
các ai cần giấy nữa không? Giấy đây nhá, rồi là tí nữa sẽ áp dụng bắt sẵn có ký kết là cái kết giấy giấy không phải là.
Okay, Neil? Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so again, everyone, describe a special event or festival that you like. Okay, you can't think of a festival. Remember, a question like this says event. Event can be birthday party, celebration, anything. Okay, so if you can't think of a festival that you enjoy, think of something else. All right? You have to say, tell me what the event was, where was it? So what it was, where was it? What happened? And why you liked it. So what the event was, where was it, what happened, and why you liked it. So I want you to talk for 1 minute, please. So after we finish this, we're going to have a break. Going to get something to eat. And again, what I'm going to be listening for, as well as the things we have just practiced, like the projection, the pace, and the pitch, I'm going to be listening to you all both together. Okay, because that is one of the most important things in speaking test. This is when you get the chance to show how many words you know that are related to the topic. Okay, so actually, I just thought of a better way to do this, because I know if I go around the table, you know when your turn is going to be. So this time, I'm just going to call out your name, okay? And you have to start, all right? Everyone understand what I mean? So this time, I'm not going to go around the table, because then everyone will know, oh, I can relax, I have 5 minutes or 4. So this time, I'm going to call out everyone's name randomly. Okay, are you ready? Okay, you've had 1 minute now. You have to talk for me just for 1 minute. Please start. Fong Ling. Fong Ling. Fong Ling. Hiding. Okay, please go. Happy you. You start again. Remember the things you were talking about, what the event was, where it was, okay? What happened. Really? Okay, a little bit hard for you, I know, right? Thank you for listening. Okay, so remember you use the things that I told you as a guide. Okay, so even if you forget a little bit of what you say, just look down at your PPT. Hopefully you made some notes. Okay, about, what happened at the event. What happened? Okay, and then you have to say, why did you like it? Or why is this fun? Or maybe you didn't like it. You can say that as well. So remember, actually, you don't have to remember, if you didn't like it, you can say that as well, because remember what they are interested in is not so much the answer as how you say it. Does that make sense? Okay, that's all right. Right. Let's see how the others go. So next, please, is okay for me. For me, okay. Okay, so I'm going to stop you there for me. This is the first time you have looked at it. Okay, so remember, you are not for this, you can't read off your notes, okay? You are, of course, you can look at your notes, but you still have to look at it. So keep going. Yeah, suddenly.
The festival called Village and but my last 2 months. In the morning, the talk started not come and we had the inspiration and we talked like first bring the regular point and the practice had the most to come with the leader and in the afternoon meeting they have changed performance and the practice has the most objective unit and it has a lot to the thing and it's my event I have
Okay, great. Very good. Very good. Okay, so much better when you were looking at it. Okay, it means I am instantly more interested in what you were saying than when you were talking like this. So the only thing I'm trying to give you just one thing to improve on this part. I'm very aware that I'm giving you a big list of things to try to remember. It's too hard. So the one thing you need to improve is projection. Okay, it's a little bit hard to hear what you were saying. Okay. And so the one thing, so your content is fine. Okay, you're looking at me fine. You didn't fold your arms. It's good to just remember to project. Okay, please remember I'm a little bit deep. Okay, thank you. So next, please, is not two. Yes, you.
And people wanting to play the part to act or kind of person to and future music and this people need the time to try my best and to identify these
Okay, good. Oh, you haven't finished, sorry.
I'm really for that. So I can
Okay. Okay, good. All right. So very interesting. You never looked at your notes. What? You didn't need to. You can if you want. You are allowed to look at your notes. But it's good. So you have good eye contact. So probably same thing again. Is you need to project to it. understood it wasn't so clear. I think you can be clearer with your speech. Right? And the way to do that is you are speaking at the right pace. Okay, your pace is good, so you just need to have a bit more projection, like I'm doing to you now. Okay, and change the pitch of your voice a little bit. You know, I really like running. Okay, it's so much fun. Okay, like that. Okay, if you are enthusiastic like that, by the way, the examiner will feel that. All right, and it will improve your mark. All right, if you show that you are enthusiastic, and maybe even you don't have to smile all the time like this. Okay, it looks a little bit silly, but you can still smile when you are talking to the examiner. Okay, makes them feel like you're his friend, right, or her friend. All these little things. Okay, that's your thing. Okay, next please is Vietnam.
And I know you guys about the festival.
Yeah.
This festival is better to be and what is able from Vietnam. It's nothing and you first implement and this time you all people in Vietnam you stop the job this festival this time you time last people have a big role to contribute.
Okay, good. All right. So same thing. So your speech was good. The content was fine. Although I'm not so interested in the content, I'm more interested in the words you use. So the words you used are fine. Okay. Again, and your pace was fine. Okay, not too fast. So that was good. Again, you need to same thing or not to just to project a bit more to me, like I am doing to you now. Okay, so you can hear my voice clearly. Okay, and a little more changes in pitch. The other word for this, by the way, is animation. Okay, animation, the same word that you use for cartoons. Okay, when you animate something, but you can animate your voice or be animated. Okay, it makes it sound more interesting. Okay, thank you, Vietnam, and not here. Yeah.
My very festival is Tết. It's lucky for 3 or 2, 5 birthday New Year. The reason I like this, firstly, I like the time between our and New Year. Secondly, yeah, some questions of this festival, I can use a reason for my decision. Like that, new money, house and putting up routes. Next is I can eat interesting and tasty food. Are some spring rolls, chicken or spring rolls, and just especially this lack of what before the second semester start in school. So,
Okay. You say, yeah, you never say that's the end. That was good. Not here. Okay, it's good. You didn't use your notes very much. Okay, you look up. Very good. And I could hear you clearly. So your projection is okay. And your pace was okay as well. All right. So I know maybe you're a little bit nervous about that, but that was fine. Okay, that was good. That is better than you have talked to me before. Thank you. Okay, Hang Ling.
My potential events. Every language yes, and before on the and the use of the habit is email only my parents, and my mom will and after that day, I can feel that my dad will and I will lucky to have the dad to learn.
Okay, very good. Okay, so your pace is very good. Actually, you change your pitch quite often too. And just again, a little bit quiet, maybe, so you can project a little bit more. Okay, yeah, everything else was fine. So remember, at this stage, what I'm trying to get you to do almost is over project to me, just so you get used to using your voice. Okay, and again, this is good practice because I'm sure many of you will, not just for this test or for this sort of class, at some stage you will have to get up and talk to people in your future career. I'm sure most of you will have to do this at some time. So this is good practice for that. Okay, so just to get used to that feeling of putting your voice out. Okay, thank you, Charlie. Okay, and next is Fran Bao. Okay, sorry, I mispronounced. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, please project more. Good. See, you are sitting up already. That's good. That is the first step. Hard to talk when you are sitting like this. Huh? That's good. Okay, please start again. Yeah. Also, I like it for the emphasis. I just have 7 days to rest. This will take a week. So I spend 2 days first on the financial figures when it's for the cost. Then following this study, I this day for my the say the money can be through, but I wanted to do myself so I can get it from that's and we want okay, that was 1 minute too. Okay, thank you. So your actually your voice got better the more you talk. Okay, so and again, it was okay. You're looking at your notes and pausing. That was fine. Okay? That was fine. So now the next thing you need to concentrate on is just looking a little bit more confident. Okay. Okay, so you are looking a little bit like you are unsure of what you were saying next. Okay. Okay. But what you were saying was fine. Okay, about the topic. What you were still saying was fine. Okay. So remember, it's not what I was saying before, it's not so much about your knowledge of the topic, it's just how you are talking. Even if you go a little bit off the topic. All right, as long as you keep talking and show the examiner that you can talk for 1 minute. Okay. Okay. All right. So don't worry if you run out of ideas. Think of some other. Like I was saying before, if they ask you something you know nothing about, okay, talk about something else. All right, the main thing is that you are talking. All right, so you can't say, I don't know anything about that, I'm not going to talk. Then you're not getting any marks. But if you can say, I'm not so sure about that, but I can talk about this. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Sorry, this is hard. I will go fast. Okay. All right. Look near.
I'll talk with you about our school basketball tournament. It took place at my school basketball court. And the tournament will in form of qualifiers round. So for around 100 teams to play for three major prizes, three major first prizes, such as for three major first prizes for under 13 teams, under 13, under 15 teams, and under 18 teams. So I really like this event because it's a chance to play for me to play competitive basketball with my friends, and I never won a basketball tournament in my life. So I was looking for this every year.
Okay, very good. Okay, that was very good, Tukmia. So again, you can hear how clearly Tukmia was speaking, and you could hear how clearly he was speaking because Tukmia, you were projecting. Okay, so you are probably fortunate because you do this naturally. Okay, but you can all do this. All right, it doesn't matter. Now, Tukmia is quite a big light, right? But it doesn't matter how big or small you are, you can all do this. All right, even a small person can protect. So that is the sort of volume you need to be talking at, the same as Tukmia was doing at. That's what you need to be aiming for. And you can all do this. Okay, it's not that hard. Just practice, like everything. Just practice. Thank you, Tukmia. Okay, who is next? Tukling. Yeah.
I didn't want to do that.
Okay, good. The prediction was good. Your pace was good. That was good. Okay, very good. Okay. No, John, is she here?
No.
No.
That's all very- The family-
Coming later. Yeah. So, I'll tell you about that holiday. During the Lunar New Year, and all the people around Vietnam is participating. So in the very first day, we have a family gathering, and we have a warmly meal together. And then after that, we would go to visit other relatives and kids, especially newborn who have little money. So I like it because it is the chance to all the family members to meet each other and have a memory. Thank you. That's a good. That's good. It's a good place to stop us. Okay. And again, that was good because Tang, you had the hardest job of all. You had to project from there to me, but I could hear you very clearly. Excellent, good. And you had good pace, good. And again, some of you might have noticed that Tang, he was speaking quite slowly, and he also paused sometime, which was fine. Okay, because then he kept going. That was good, Tang. Okay, great. Okay, next is Bhutan.
About the JC basketball even for Vietnam even the city all different college region. If you look it's a location thank you stadium. It started with April every year and last month my university with the gold medal and I have a lot to play final game in ultimate and with a basketball fan and players, I love events so much because it gave me more and more to see.
Okay, good. So good projection and excellent eye contact. Bhutan. It was really good. You kept looking up at me. Okay, from your notes. That's great. Okay, and good pace too. That is fast. Okay, thank you. All right, almost finished. Baoling.
I'm going to talk about special event is this market organized by my city university. Um, the festival is based on our traditional festival is event is so the market decorated by many flowers, out and music. The market sells many supplies such as food, drink, and souvenirs. First, the staff will give us easy free like rice, meat, and banana leaves to make them drink. Then I go to watch a set to hear dancers, sound, and dance. And then we play some traditional games such as couples and cuddles and chess. Uh, the thing I like, the thing I happy with this festival most is I can spend time with my friends and it's really my valuable time. I wish I could participate in such interesting festival.
Okay, good. So that was good pace, good projection, great eye contact. The only thing I think you need to change is your pitch. Everything was mostly at that. It went along like this. So, for example, you could say, the main reason I like this is because I get to go with my friends. Okay, so you need to have a bit more animation in your voice. Does that make sense? Okay, and you are allowed to smile at me. Like that. Yes, you did. Perfect. Okay, and if you smile, everyone, this comes through in your voice. Now, some of you know it does. Some of you know that my career, I was a radio presenter. Okay? And one of the things that we were taught from very early on was that if you smile, people can hear that in your voice, even if you can't see them. Okay? So I know you can smile about it. You have beautiful smiles. Okay? So just sometimes when you are describing, especially something that was fun, like the festival, you can smile at the memory, right? And that will come through in your voice. Does that make sense? Okay, great. Thank you, Barley. Okay. Kim Nam, this is
Who is that?
Kim Nam. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Kim Nan, yeah, okay. Go to together and do that your community members. What I like the most is what and I'm saying
Okay, that's good. All right, so good. I noticed you were trying to do the pitch and there. That was good. I could hear that. Okay, that was great. So yeah. The only thing I would change a little bit is get you to project a little bit more. All right. So I can hear you a little bit more clearly. Okay. Okay, that's good. All right. Who's still left to go? Sorry. Shall we? Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
There's festival, there's the art festival. Actually, it's given from China. We also celebrated the national festival in year August. One of the most traditional activities of this festival is Mola. There will be maybe a group of people dancing and learning singers, playing some traditional music, instruments, while the children play concert or make some music together. When it comes to the reading life and this festival, firstly, is a time for me and my family spend time with people, like to hear about story. Secondly, it is the golden opportunity for me to relax and also impart my battery after eating.
Okay, very good. Okay, good. I can hear you clearly. Good pace, good projection, even though I'm obviously standing very close to you. Okay, that was good. I could hear you changing your pitch in your voice. Okay, and you smile at me, and I can hear that in your voice. That's very good. Okay, so the examiner again will feel very friendly towards you. Very good. All right, Paula, you think you escaped? Do you have it?
Okay, so I will tell you about a simple event that I really enjoyed. It was a goodbye party for us ninth grader in middle school. So it was organized for our last year in middle school, and if memory serves me well, it began the evening until like midnight, about 11:30. So we had a lot of time. And we had fun performance, the singing, dancing, and even acting the play. But what I like most about it is that we have a chance to do photos with each other, with the class, with my teachers, and other parents. Also, we had some competition about making videos for our classes, and our class won the night. So it was great. It was also really nostalgic and precious, and I know that events like that just occurred to us students like once in blue moon. That's why I really appreciate it, and it became one of my core memories.
Great. Okay. So again, good projection, good pace, but the plenty of good changes there. That was good. Paul. Okay, good. And you had a good timing in the group. That's great. Okay, so everyone, thank you. All right, please take a break. Okay, and we will come back to do some writing. Thank you. And thank you everyone for being patient, by the way, on the other two to speak. That was very good.
Ok, nhờ các mẹ cho các con ăn tạm nhờ.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everyone, listen up. Thank you. Okay, so we're getting on to writing. Yeah, okay. So we're doing writing task 2. all right, which I know the afternoon group did with me last week. So if you're in group one, we haven't done this yet. By group one, I mean the morning group. Okay, so the morning group wasn't done some of this yet. So I will very quickly explain what we're going to do for the sake of the morning group. So the afternoon group, you should know all this already. Okay, so remember, this is an essay topic. All right, the first thing we do when we look at an essay topic is we have to decide whether our essay is going to be an A, P, or S essay. If I've written these up here to remind you, and also for the morning group, we haven't probably seen this before, you have to decide all the essay topics you get, okay, will be one of these three topics. There will be an argument or a point of view or a situation. So again, for the morning group, and to remind the afternoon group, okay, an argument is about pros and cons or advantages or disadvantages. Okay, you'll get a topic that will ask you to list the pros and cons or the advantages or disadvantages of something. And again, all this is just revision for the afternoon group. You'll have seen this already. Point of view, all right, is where you're going to be asked to write about different points of view. So you don't have to write about the advantages or disadvantages. You just have to write about the different points of view of a particular topic. And the last one, which we're going to do now, is a situation essay. So again, remember all the essay questions you will come across in part 2 of the IELTS will be one of these three. So the very first thing you have to do is work out which one it is, and you have to be able to work this out within a few seconds. All right, so hopefully you can read my writing here. A little bit hard to see with all the other marks on the board. Can you please read that?
People go through life with work and kids or have no talent for. Why does this happen?
Okay, good reading. Very good. You translated my bad writing very well. Okay, for those of you who didn't hear, so many people go through life doing work they hate or have no talent for. Why does this happen? What are the consequences of the situation? Okay, now this is a situation type essay. And you know it's a situation type essay, apart from the fact it's got situation on the end, which they don't always have, okay, is that the first sentence of these essay topics is always a situation or a fact. Okay, so this is a fact. Many people, as you know, go through life doing work they don't like or that they have no talent or ability for. So does that make sense to everyone? This is a situation. Okay, this is a fact. You know this is true when you read it. There are other essay topics where the first sentence is not a fact. So you know it's one of these others. So remembering how essays are structured, and again, I revised this, or I mentioned this for the morning group, who I haven't talked in detail about this. Your first sentence, your first paragraph of any essay is always a what? Is always a what? Afternoon group, you know, your first paragraph of any task to essay is always a what? Begins with P. Begins with P. Afternoon group, you know this. Come with me.
I'm in the morning group.
Oh, sorry. Really okay. The first paragraph of any essay is a paraphrase. Okay, you have to paraphrase the topic as your first one. You know that if it is a situation essay, your next 2 paragraphs are going to be about why does this happen, okay, and what are the consequences of this situation. All right, so this is paragraph 2. Remember, paragraph 1 is a paraphrase. Normally in this sort of essay, you write 4 paragraphs. Okay, so paragraph 1 is a paraphrase. Paragraph 2 is this. Paragraph 3 is this. And what is paragraph 4? Can anyone tell me? It's a conclusion. Yes, very simple. Okay, introduction or paraphrase, number one. In this case, these are your next two paragraphs, and your fourth paragraph is always a conclusion. Okay. So, when we did the essay with, and I hope you all got my comments, group 2, about what you did with the essay last week. A lot of people seem to have trouble coming up with ideas as to what to write for paragraphs 2 and 3. Okay, most of you did the paraphrase pretty well. And again, for those of you who are not sure what the paraphrase is, it is a way of saying this in other words. Right? A way of saying this in other words. So the very first thing we're going to do now is to give group 2 more practice at this and also introduce group 1 for this. That I want you all, please, on your piece of paper now, to paraphrase this first sentence. All right. So many people go through life doing work they hate or have no talent for. Please write that same sentence, but using other words in another way. Is anyone not sure what they need to do with this group 2? You have had plenty of practice at this by now, so you should know. Okay. Dr. Ling, were you around when we did this? Were you part of the afternoon class when we did this? When we did the ideas? Okay, so you know how to do the paraphrase? Yes. All right. I will make it even easier for you for those who haven't done it before. I will give you a sample paraphrase. So let me see. Many people say, lots of the population spend their career doing jobs that they don't like or they are no good at. Okay, so that is my instant paraphrase of that. Does that make sense? So you can see I am saying exactly the same meaning as this. I'm just using different words. That's what you have to do. Does that make sense? Okay, so please try and write your own paraphrase. Okay, so just one sentence. All I want is one sentence. So I gave you one example of a paraphrase. There are many different ways you could do this. Okay, many different ways. So again, I'll give you another example. Lots of workers spend their career doing jobs that they dislike or they are no good at. Okay, that is one paragraph. And if you're going to get a good mark in the IELTS test, and I assume those of you who are doing the IELTS want a good mark of at least 7, okay, you have to show you can do a paraphrase. Okay, if you just copy this out in your essay, okay, they will not give you many marks, but anyone can copy this thing. You have to show that you can give ideas in English using more than one set of words. That is what the test is. All right, and rather than read them all out, I'm going to come around here now and see, can anyone finish here? Okay. Think of another word. It is. Something like this. No skill or ability. My writing is terrible too. Okay, Michael. Okay, lots of people still in one. What was not that's a word from the act. The word. So that is correct. Again, but that is the right one. Many people spend their careers doing clients. Yes. Anything. True, but that is probably informed for this. Okay, so what you have written is correct. Somebody made a lot of interest. Probably to any form of this business. We have to think of some other one. But that's good. I mean, it's a great character. This is not into something. So you have to have something like things that they have everyone else. In these days, these days are also your approach job, then they don't. They are not interested. Some way so what you have was whereas the other part, Christian, is about they don't have any talent or any skill. So you have to have. Okay, who else? You know, use slang, even though the slang makes sense. This is a test of your form writing. So you work, they'll take marks off if you write in slang. And again, I think most of you have come across the difference between active and passive before. Okay, you should always try and write in the active, what is called the active voice. Okay, something that is happening now, rather than something that has happened previously, is the easiest way to describe it. Okay, so for example, the active voice is, if I'm talking about now, many people dislike the jobs they work at, okay, and that they have no skill for. Okay, it's an active voice. The passive voice would be many people have been working at jobs that they don't like, and that they have no training for, something like that. So the active voice is always better. All right. Again, I probably haven't explained that very clearly. If you are not sure, please look it up. Okay, the difference between the active and passive voice. But basically, the active voice means you are writing about something that is happening now, so you use those words. But again, if there's any confusion about this, please look it up. But it is always best to write in the active voice these essays rather than the passive voice. Okay. So, thank you for doing the paraphrase. So the next thing we need to do are paragraphs 2 and 3. So I'm going to go around the room. Okay, take a little bit of time, and I want you all to give me some reason. Okay, why does this happen? Okay, why this begin? Halfway around this line. Not here. Not here. Can you think of a reason why does it happen? Why do people go through life doing a job they don't like? Why does this happen? Give me one reason. Economy problems. The economy problems, yeah. Can you think of another way of saying that? He mentioned about the economy problems. What is the economy about? A word that begins with N. Yes, money. Money. Okay. So, put it another way, why do people sometimes stay at a job they don't like? Because they lack you're getting close. Getting close, but you can express that in a more simple way. All right. So he is on to the right. Kian is on to the right idea. Why do some people spend time at a job they don't like? Because they what? Close, because they want to earn more money, or because they need the money. Okay, very simple. So this isn't a hard example. And in fact, most of these lessons are not difficult. Right? They're not difficult. You just have to be prepared to think of it in your planning. Can anyone remember how many minutes you have on tuition like this the afternoon group? How many minutes you have to plan these essays? 2 seconds. A little bit more than that.
No.
How many minutes do you have to make a plan to write these essays?
No.
Group 2. Close. 7 to 8 minutes. Was that a guess? Okay, 6 to 8 minutes. Okay, so everyone, you should remember this. So these essays, how long? Okay, I'll go right back to the beginning. How long, task to essay, how long do you have to write it in total? What is the total amount of time you're allowed? Okay, you should all know this by heart now, especially the afternoon group. How many minutes? 40, okay. 40 minutes. Where did the 5 go? 40 minutes. Okay, you have 40 minutes to write a task to essay. And that's all you are allowed. Okay, of that 40 minutes, okay, you should spend about 7 to 8 minutes planning. Planning, all right? So the first thing you need to do, you don't need to plan to write a paraphrase. Once you've had a bit of practice, you should be able to just do that. Okay, look at that and paraphrase it straight away. But what you do need to plan, okay, is these parts, what you are going to have in the second and third paragraphs. Right, so you do need to spend 7 or 8 minutes just thinking of things to go in here. So the first one is, thank you, that you alluded to, okay, is people work at jobs because they need the money. Right? People work at jobs they don't like because they need the money. Can someone give me a second? Why do people work at jobs they don't like? Yes, who did that? Yes. Okay. Tradition, okay. Maybe your family has a business, right? And your parents expect you to carry on with the business, but you might hate it. But doesn't matter, you have to carry on. Sorry? Of course. Anyone who wants to go to the bathroom, please don't go. Okay, you don't need to ask my permission. Okay, you are all almost adults. Adults don't need to ask to go to use the bathroom. Right? You just go. I understand. Okay. Yeah. So tradition, as Paul has said. So, like I say, maybe your family has a business. You don't like the business. Actually, it happened to my family. And my parents, my father had a business logging, cutting down trees. Okay, family business. He didn't want to do that. Okay, but he was forced to because that was the family business. That's how they made money. Okay, so 2 reasons. 1, you need the money. 2, tradition. It is a family business. Maybe you have to keep going. All right. Can anyone think of another reason? They are not qualified for the job that they like. Yes, very good. They are not qualified for the job they would like to do. All right. Maybe they would like to be an airline pilot, or they would like to be a doctor, but they don't have the qualifications for it. So instead, they have to work in a hotel, okay, which they don't like, but that's all they can do. All right. So there we have 3 good reasons. So you have to be able to think of reasons like this within 7 to 8 minutes. In fact, less, because you then have the next paragraph to look at. So what you would write down in your notes, you don't need to do this now, but what you would write down is, why does this happen? You would need to write down 3 reasons. Normally 3 is enough for a paragraph. Okay, so the 3 reasons we have why does this happen is 1, money. Right? You work at a job you don't like because you get paid for it and you need money to pay your rent, okay, to support your family. Number 2, it is your family business, it is commission. Okay, so you're not forced to work, carry on the family business because everyone wants you to do that. And number 3, because you don't have the qualifications for the job you would really like to do, so you can only do this job. Okay, there's 3 good reasons, and that's all you need. Does that make sense to everyone? So again, these are not difficult, not that difficult, but you just have to be able to think quickly of the reason. And then obviously, in the rest of the time you have available, you're going to write it. So this is paragraph 2. Okay, paragraph 3. What are the consequences of this situation? So again, we're looking for 3 reasons. Everyone, 3 reasons. What happens? Let me paraphrase this for you. What happens when you work in a job that you don't like or have no skills for? What happens to you? Very bored. Sorry, you very bored. Yes, you get very bored. Okay. So what is a more formal one that anyone can call? Sorry? Stressful, yeah. But he was talking about bored, which is true. Okay, you get very bored of the job you don't like. So you have no, I'm thinking of 2 words here. The first one is J. This is a collocation, by the way. The second word begins with S. Okay. Not joy, but it is a 3-letter word. Sorry?
So J is the first word, S is the second word of this collocation. Okay, if you are bored with a job, you have no JS. What is the first word? Yes, job something, yeah, job what? If you are happy with the job, what are you? You are, yes, okay. Satisfaction, job satisfaction is the collocation. If you are bored with the job, you have no job satisfaction. And you are happy with the job satisfaction. Okay, so that is number one. Number two, Darlene, I think you said. Did you say stress? Yeah, okay. Number one, you are bored, you have no job satisfaction. Okay, number two, you have stress. Okay, if you have stress in your life for a long time, what can that mean? Okay. Okay, that is at one end of the scale. In between. Okay. Yes, it can. Okay. Yes, it can. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So you feel what? If you are under stress for a long time, what do you feel? You feel yes, you feel depressed, you feel unwell, okay, unhealthy. If you're stressed for a long time, you know, you start to develop health problems. And yes, in the end, maybe it leads to suicide. Right? That's correct. Okay, so we have two reasons now for this. Okay, we have no job satisfaction. Okay, you are bored. Okay, you hate to get out of bed to go to work every day. I hope this happens to none of you. Right? Or if it does happen, I hope it only happens short term. Sometimes many people, as you know, have to work at jobs for a little while, especially while you're a student or you're just starting out. You have to do a job that you are not that happy with, but you know you won't be doing it forever. So that is okay. So you don't get too stressed. Anyway, so job satisfaction. We have no job satisfaction. Number two is stress. Stress leads to you being unhealthy, okay, unwell. Okay. Can anyone think of a third one? A third consequence? Please don't be shy. Michael, can you think of something? You missed out on all the, everyone had to talk before.
You will get that depending on the job.
You will get judged. Yeah, that is actually a good one, Michael. Don't look so surprised. That's a good idea. Okay. See how you can think here. Yeah. Other people will judge you, okay, on the job that you are doing. Right? Maybe they look down on you, okay, because you only work in a hotel, okay, or only work in the convenience or something, and they, you know, and they will look up to you if you had a job, I don't, like a doctor or work in a bank or something. They would look up to you. Okay, so there are probably more reasons than that. I'm sure there are, but remember, for these essays, you only need three. Okay, the first three you can think of. And again, I keep emphasizing to you, just like the talking, what you write in the essay isn't that important. There is no right or wrong answer. It is just how you write it down, that you use the correct word. Does this make sense to everyone? Okay, so remember, for these, there are no right or wrong answers. You don't have to spend a lot of time thinking, oh, have I got the right answer? Have I got the right advantage or right disadvantage? Okay, try me. Does this make sense to you? Okay, it is just how you write it down, that you use the correct words, that you use the correct tense. Okay, you have the correct grammar. That is the important thing with all of this. We only had 10 minutes. So what I was going to get you to do, okay, was to actually write this essay for you, but we're going to run out of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you other topics. Just give me a couple of minutes to put this on the board, and we will do the same thing. Okay, Tom, can you read that topic from there, please? Yeah. Okay, thank you, Tom. Okay, so learning English at school is often seen as more important than local language. In your opinion, is it important for everyone to learn English? Okay, can anyone tell me, is this an A, P, or S essay? P, yeah, it is a P essay, okay? Ask for your opinion. Okay, opinion means point of view. Okay, so it is a P essay. Okay, so you have to go, by the way, very similar to an argument essay. But you have to give at least a couple or more points of view of it, which is kind of advantages or disadvantages. So again, everyone, can you please write a quick paraphrase of this? All right, a quick paraphrase of the first sentence. Remember, you only paraphrase the first sentence. You don't need to paraphrase the second part of the question. Learning English in school is often seen as more important than local languages. What is another way of saying that? In fact, because we're running out of time and I don't want to go past 6 o'clock, I'm actually going to go around and ask you, Talk Ling, stop hiding. What do you think, Talk Ling? Can you do this off the top of your head? Sorry. By the way, are all of you familiar with the English idiomatic phrase off the top of your head? I know some of you are. It means without thinking too much. Off the top of your head means just do it. Learning English at school is often seen as more important than local languages. Have a try and see what you think. Okay, let me give you a clue. One way how you can do it. You can turn this around. Okay. Start off with, you can say, the national language of a country, okay, is one way of saying local languages, is sometimes seen as less desirable than learning English. All right, that is one way of paraphrasing. Does that make sense to everyone? So what I've done is I've just gone to the end of the sentence and I've put that first. Okay, you're looking puzzled. It's okay to be puzzled, but please, if you are puzzled, ask me. Okay? Because I know that this is not that easy, but it is a skill you can all learn. And by now, you all have the ability to do this. Okay? Your English is good enough to think of other words for these words. So again, what I did then was I said, the native language of a country is sometimes viewed, as being less important than English. Does that make sense, Tom Lynn, what I did there? Okay, so that is one way of paraphrasing. There are other ways. Paula, can you give me a paraphrase off the top of your head?
In micro videos, becoming the most popular language worldwide. However, because of that, local languages have been negative, good,
Yes, good.
and
Yeah,
considered less vital.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so Paula used the words like local languages can be neglected. Okay, and being seen as less vital. Okay, vital is a synonym for important. Right, so she used the word So you just changed important to vital. Okay, that was good, Paula. So does everyone understand now how you paraphrase things like this? This, by the way, is different from the task one. I'm sure all of you remember going back to the task one, which was to do with a graph or a chart or a table. Okay, that paraphrase is a lot simpler because all you have to do is substitute certain words, but you can still keep the same sentence. Just change one or two of the words. This one, this sort of paraphrase, you actually have to rewrite the whole sentence using different words. Okay, that is how you paraphrase that. So then, before we finish, as I am keen to finish, so you can all start eating at 6 o'clock. In your opinion, is it important for everyone to learn English? Okay, let's go around the room. All right. In your opinion, is it important for everyone to learn English? Okay, can you think? Can you project that? In my opinion, good. In your opinion, okay, and you have to stand by. Okay, let's go. Okay. I'm going round at random. What do you think? Okay, means you can't relax if you think I'm going to go around everyone before I get to you. Okay, I'm just going to pick people at random. In your opinion, is it important for everyone to learn English? Because sorry, can you say it again? Because okay, that's fine. That's the reason. Because nowadays we need to communicate with other people in many countries. Okay, that's just one reason. It doesn't have to be complicated. All right, just one simple sentence. Remember, that's all we need. Please don't make this harder than it is. All you are thinking of is simple sentences each time. Okay, so one reason we have is because we needed to communicate with people in other countries. Can you think of another one? Why is it important, in your opinion, to learn English, or is it not?
And you also you do English or example like marketing or you have to make it to the company.
Okay, so again, keeping it simple. These days, for many jobs, you need to know English. Okay, simple as that. Okay, so first reason from Brooklyn was, you need to learn English because you need to communicate with many other countries. Okay, you speak English. Second reason, these days many jobs require English. Okay, remember, keep it very simple. Okay, third reason, anyone? Try me. Try me. Can you think of one? Or do you disagree? Remember, it is okay to disagree in these essays. Okay? As long as you write about it correctly. There is no right or wrong answer.
Sorry, English. I don't like for you.
Sorry, you can foster your brain. Okay? What is another way of saying? That's not quite correct. You can foster. Foster is not quite the correct word in this context. Okay? You would have to say something, and again, keeping it simple, because it helps my brain to work better. Okay, is that what you mean? Yeah, because so learning English, learning another language, okay, helps my brain work better. Okay, good. All right, so then we have 3 reasons. All right. And remember, like I was saying, 3 reasons is all you need. They don't have to be complicated reasons. Okay, just 3 reasons. that you are able to write about correctly. Okay? Remember, it's how you write about them, not the reasons you come up with. Okay, Mrs. It's 6 o'clock. Yeah, so everybody, what we will do next week, and I hope you can all come back next week, is we will actually get to write these. So what I've hopefully tried to show you this afternoon is the structure of these essays. Remember, the first one is a paraphrase. Okay, for the next 2 paragraphs, you just need to think of ideas, and they can be simple ideas. And then, of course, the last part of the essay, which is the conclusion, will usually take care of itself. Okay, because you just usually repeat what is the main idea of your essay. Such as, in my opinion, it is essential that everyone learn English. Or not. Okay, does anyone have any questions before we finish the lesson? Okay, thank you for concentrating for 3 hours. Please give your brother. Please enjoy yourself. Thank you.